next on Sunday night.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. And they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that 2nd win in a row.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again and looking to erase his memory bank from his opening drive a moment ago that ended in a pick 6 for the first points of the ball game.
And in my experience, a lot of quarterbacks, after throwing a pick 6, the first thing they want to do is fire another one and get those points back immediately. But what really helps you get back in sync is a good, long, methodical drive, mixing the run and the pass, tamp things down a little bit.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Pickett, he's going to loft it deep right sideline. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Holding offense. What was that run?
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. On the delay, here's Harris. And some strong running. And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little gain. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they had certainly had their struggles to start the season, but they put it all together in getting that first victory a week ago.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long, step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going deep for Brown. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. We saw this plenty last year in college. He loved to take his shots downfield, and that throw, that was a thing to behold there.
And look, you're down 7-0 in the first quarter. You know it's not a time to panic or feel like you've got to get those points back right away. But how about their conviction and taking that chance to throw the ball deep right there, knowing they can hit on plays like this? I'll bet that won't be the last time we see them take a deep shot in this game.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. They hand this off to Harris. Oh, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So here are the Seahawks now with a long field in front of them. They'll be led by their 9th-year quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
I like this guy. And the reason I do, he tends to stand an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
And he'll get this one up to about his 14. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Now it's Carson. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Out of the gun, Smith. And oh, that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? 38-yard line, 2nd and 11. From the gun, Pickett. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he'll go out of bounds after getting this across the 15.
On, let's go.
Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18. They run it with Carson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Stephon Tuitt came out of Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wonder, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that.
Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
You would think that he had baseball in his past, the way he patrols center field and goes and gets the footballs he just did there. An all-pro for the Steelers each of the last 2 years. His first 2 years with the franchise, he led them with 4 interceptions in 2020.
A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Pickett evades him at the 10, and down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
And Deontay Johnson has seen his share of targets increase in his first 2 years in the league, and last year finished with 88 catches, continuing to work on grabbing everything that comes his way. A nice catch there.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. To throw on 2nd down, Pickett. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Back to throw. Pickett. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Darrell Taylor coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. And Boswell's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in the second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hold. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Geno Smith getting ready to go again here on offense. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. They go back to Carson here on 2nd. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. So a first catch for him in the ball game. And you know the scuttlebutt has been he's not getting enough touches, enough catches, not feeling involved enough in the offense. So maybe that can get him going.
You and I both know that there's not a wide receiver alive that ever feels like in any game he got enough touches, even if he got 15, right? We all know that. But there's also not an offensive coordinator alive, a play caller, that isn't smart enough to get the ball to them and often that will keep his position.
Throwing on third down, Smith. Past the 20. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A big play that time through the air. 32 yards. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawks touchdown. DK Metcalf, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that pushes the lead up to 11. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Steelers ready to take over on offense. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Pickett. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. 2nd interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. After the interception, here's Smith. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
And that guy just keeps getting better. And I'm talking about Tyler Lockett, who just made that nice catch there for a 1st down. Now in his 7th season with Seattle, last year may have been his finest yet. And even 100 catches, many of them of the spectacular variety. Paired with DK Metcalf, a heck of a dynamic duo for the Seahawks.
Now a 1st down throw. It's Smith. Flush to his right. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And that'll make this a 2nd down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
To throw again on 2nd down. Smith. Catch is made by Metcalf. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. Geno now to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Completes it to Fant on the right side. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly, where it was the visiting Bucs who were able to come in and win one on the road. Tom Brady, excellent in the victory, as his guys run their mark to 4-2 on the year. From there, we say, so long, America. Hello, England, as we head over the Atlantic to check out the action in London. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Miami Dolphins. Trevor Lawrence leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. And finally, on Monday Night Football, a good one in the AFC. Bills and Titans live from Nashville. Continuing on, here's a look at the next-gen stats in that first half. And there were a few factors as to why they built this good-size advantage, but the rushing numbers were not all that amazing. We'll see if they can pick it up in the second half. And meanwhile, for the Steelers, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. These two teams making their last-minute adjustments. The second half coming your way from Pittsburgh. And to bring it to you, we go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. Taken at the goal line. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They go back to Carson here on second. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
That's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Off of play action, here's Smith. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Now a give right side. It's Carson, and he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They go back to Carson here on second. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up. This is Carson. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. We'll check on his status when we get back. On first down, Carson. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Now Gino. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. They'll run on first down. It's Carson, and he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
That's a gain of 6 on the first down run.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Well, the terrible towels here at Heinz Field out in full force. Here's 3rd and long. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And they just got a little help from their defense forcing the turnover. Now can they make that pay off in points?
They need to, partner. They're down on the scoreboard. Need to take advantage of those opportunities. And this is a good one right in front of them.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And down to the 36-yard line here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Again, it's Harris on 2nd down, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. The Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10. They'll begin the drive with Carson. Carson, the first down and more. And he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. 46 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Carson. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
They'll fake it. Now Smith. And that is incomplete.
I'm looking at this with my defensive eyeglasses on because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought he had a mismatch? But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick-6 for a Steeler touchdown. Well, dare I say it, it's kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir. Well done.
The Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So a big play now as the Steelers will go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And he's going to be sacked. They came after him. He couldn't get away. And this remains a 2-point game. And the failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point. You're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Their lead is hanging by a thread after that pick-6, but look, they're still in the driver's seat. Now the question, how aggressive will they be on this drive? Time to find out. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Pastor, you said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
Hands it off out of the gun. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. Well, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Eluding the pressure right. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
And he will have the 1st down before he's tackled at the 12.
Here we go.
And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Carson. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Throwing now, Smith. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete.
That was a difficult catch. The fact that he actually caught the football, worked so hard to get his feet down inbounds, trying to do the toe tap. My dad's an accomplished tap dancer. I'm not sure he would have gotten his feet in on him.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And Myers able to knock it through, and that will push the lead up to 5. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
So now the Steelers down by 5. A little over a minute and a half remaining. A 4th straight defeat looming on the horizon, barring a comeback here as they've got it with a 1st down. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the 2nd quarter, he may very well have run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And we've reached the 1-minute mark in this game. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Ooh, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
A score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a... And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And the Steelers have just about sewn up this football game.
I know there's some time on the clock, but I still think you kick the extra point there and don't go for 2 and go for the win in that spot.
Yeah, time or no time, why not just take the 1 and even the score?
And then that way, no matter what, at least you know what you're dealing with now. It's a whole different strategy. You got to decide whether you're going to onside kick or just try and play defense and get the ball back.
Now the focus shifts to the Seahawks offense. Trailing by a point, 45 seconds remaining. Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Now it's Smith. And incomplete on the deep ball. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Smith. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big connection on that one. 35 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now Smith. That completes it again to Metcalf. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Smith now to throw. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Cameron Sutton. And the Steelers have just about sewn up this football game. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
They run the counter. It's Harris. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it took a big 4th quarter to do